Hey, my friends. Oh, dang it. I meant to wipe off the whiteboard again. Gosh darn it. I don't see it until the camera turns on here. So sorry about that. Hey, this is Andy coming to you live from Southern California. And I am so happy to be with you. I put a post up earlier, hoping to get some material for tonight's show. And I didn't get as much as I wanted. I think some of my Democratic friends have finally unfriended me. I don't unfriend anybody, no matter what kind of names they call me and threaten to kill me, because I enjoy having them on my thing because it gives me material, and I haven't got as much as I really wanted, but I did get a few and enough to follow through with my thoughts on the show. And that is, those people that are Democrats, liberals, whatever you want to call them, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, whatever you guys call yourselves. I'm really not sure. White supremacists, whatever you call yourself. The reason us Americans call you dumb is because we love you. And we hope that you will make the right decision at some point as we get closer to election day. Maybe at some point, something that one of us says, or we finally continue to say, listen, and they go, you know what? And you wake up in the morning, I've been called dumb an awful lot lately. I may want to see what they're talking about because there is so much that I don't understand. But let's talk about my sponsors first. It's so important. Let's go to today'shappycoffee.com. Go to today'shappycoffee.com. Get the best coffee on the planet if you want to be happy and you want to lose weight. I've lost about 25 pounds. I haven't showed it in a long time. Let me go ahead and show you the picture. I hate showing it, but it's actually, I'm even look a little bit thinner now. Oh man, that banner's up. Sorry, I got my shirt off. I know. So I could call you dumb and you could call me fat and you can call me funny looking and all that other kind of stuff. I don't care. Hold on. I'm trying to get rid of this thing. This is being up much longer than I want it to be. So up there, you see that little belly up there? That's what I had about 3 or 4 months ago. And now since I've been on Happy Coffee, I've lost 25 pounds and even less. Most of that fat has gone away and much more muscle, obviously. Is showing through. Much more muscle is showing through now. But again, those angles and all, it's not flattering, but I have to show you that at least the fat has gotten away. I've not gotten any better looking. My physique has not got that much better, but I have lost weight, which is good. The other thing is I've lost so much weight, and because of the CBD, which I'm going to tell you about in 1 second, my blood pressure, for the first time that I know of in my adult life, my blood pressure was so low, they told me to stop taking my medication. When I was 21, trying to get on the police departments and testing and going through medical, they had me actually go lay down in a dark room and pretend that I was on some tropical island on a hammock because my blood pressure at 21 years of age was so high that they could not pass me to get on the police department. Thankfully, doing that exercise got it low enough and I was able to get on the police department. But that's how long my blood pressure has been so high. For the first time since then, they told me, hey, you got to stop taking your medication. You are going to pass out and hurt yourself. And so that has been good. All right. Today's CBD oil, which is right here, the CBD oil, which is the best on the planet, one of the top 50 healthcare companies in the world, called Viseo. Patented lipo technology is fantastic. CBD, I take it every day. And it is really, as far as I can tell, coincidentally, since I've been taking CBD and the Happy Coffee and some other great products that I take, I have never been felt so good and healthier in my life. This fog, I was talking about it today with somebody that I feel so clear. This may surprise you when you're talking to me, but my thought process and my sense of humor has gotten much better because I have lifted this fog up off my head and can concentrate, multitask. We really can't multitask, but when I try to do that, it seems to be much easier now that I've lifted that fog. Wake up and get far more production. Not today, though. I've been on the phone with Apple support. I normally don't have problems with my Apple. I've been with Apple Macs for 20 years, but today I was on for 3 days. I've been trying to solve a problem with my computers and my phone, and they're corrupted. Something got corrupted, and it's been a nightmare. 3 days. And I know people are trying to text me, call me, email me, and I haven't responded. I am sorry, but 3 days I've been trying to fix this problem. All right. But back to CBD. You don't want to hear my problems. And today's Viseo.com, some of the great products, the best products on the planet. Let me just hold up this. These are skincare products that go with Viseo. That's not what it's all about, really. It's about CBD and it's about vitamins and other stuff. But that skincare is scientifically proven to turn back the hands of time. I use it almost daily, and it works, and I love it. So, all right. So let's get back to why I call Democrat friends dumb, because you might be. You actually might be. And the only way that I can get your attention is by saying something, because obviously you're either not watching my shows, you're not reading through good, solid information like CIA documents like I do, FBI documents, released and unclassified documents. You're not, you don't have the connections with law enforcement that I have in regard to some issues that people know about. You aren't following the right people and the right podcasts, and you are just ill-informed. Because when you look at the list of people that are leading the Democratic, not leaders. I'm just telling you that they're leading the Democrat party and have done so for decades. They are horribly corrupt, miserable people. They have literally been training Democrats to hate Republicans and hate the president of the United States. And when I say that you're dumb, and I get responses like this one, suddenly my numbers dropped dramatically. What did I say? It went from a lot of people to hardly 2 people watching. That was really weird. I mean, there was a large number of people, and all of a sudden, boom, it went to nothing. I'm broadcasting on 8 different platforms, so I get numbers like crazy. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I don't care. It was in response to my post said, I figured it out. I'm being punked right now. There is no one who is really dumb enough. And I put really dumb. So you have to be really dumb, not just dumb. You have to be really dumb enough to vote Democrat. Right? You guys are so funny. And that was my post. And what I was looking for was some responses that I could use. Now, I got a couple, but one of them was, I'm shocked at how many Republicans are so immature and rude. Well, that's me. You got me there. I have no response. Just because some of my Facebook friends have very different views than me, I don't call them things like dumb. That would be dumb in my humble opinion. Now, dumb is the least, right? And I responded saying, well, listen, I've been called MFer, a-hole. Again, as a cop, you get called that every day anyway. But I've been called racist. I've been called Nazi, baby killer, a horrible parent. My life has been threatened. And then at a recent rally, people that I was with got ran over by a Democrat driving a car and ran over 4 people. And the response to that was that, well, 2 wrongs don't make a right, and I'm an attorney. Okay, so you can't compare being called a dumb person, an incredibly dumb person, for being Democrat and running over 4 people. So that's not 2 wrongs make a right. I'm just trying to make sure that you understand that there's hey, stop being so dumb. Like, you got to wake up, because they put this guy, and I'm just going to start there, right? They gave you Biden and Kamala Harris. Let me let's just go with that. Just that alone, not everything else, back what happened 4 years ago. Let's just go with the candidates they gave you. That you are going to vote for a man who obviously, now don't say that he doesn't, and don't say that you don't see it, and don't listen to morons in the media that say, no, he seems perfectly fine. You cannot be even intelligent. You cannot even be an attorney. Because I think attorneys have, I could go there too, because I work with a lot of attorneys. I make my living working with attorneys, and they may be some of the dumbest people that I've worked with, but they have their issues, right? But even if you are an attorney, you can see that Joe Biden is cognitively, I know that's a big word for me, cognitively impaired. You cannot, it is impossible for you not to see that he's impaired. They hide him from you, and this is not hyperbolic. They literally, he has been hidden. He's done, I don't know, a fraction, maybe a pin drop of interviews compared to what Donald Trump does a day, right? Today he just did 2 hours on Rush Limbaugh, 2 hours after getting out of the hospital of having COVID-19. Where they said earlier in the day that he's obviously sick because he's coughing and we think he's dying, right? So you have the media say, I heard him cough, he must be dying of COVID-19. And then he goes on and does 2 hours of an interview with Rush Limbaugh. And you have Biden, who won't do more than 15 minutes of talking. He did that debate the other day, but that's it, right? He had to save up all of his energy to do that one debate where he got thrown softballs But they don't even ask him any questions. They ask him how the weather is and how it fit. What's he going to do when he actually wins? And is he going to go to Disneyland? And they ask him some pretty stupid questions. So listen, you cannot be that naive. If you believe that he is a good candidate for president of the United States, leader of the free world, if you believe that, then I have no choice but to call you dumb. You're giving me no choice. I'm trying to wake you up. Like I've said before, you're either acting dumb on purpose because you just want to say stupid stuff and say that you support a guy who's cognitively impaired. And you're going to vote Democrat, regardless of voting for somebody that's cognitively impaired, knowing that he will not last. He will last maybe a couple months. And then you're going to have Kamala Harris, who has no experience. She has no life experience. I know people that know her. I've testified in San Francisco. I've worked with DAs and attorneys that have worked either against Kamala Harris or no Kamala Harris, and I've worked in the same office as Kamala, am I saying it right? I don't even know. That know that she's done literally almost nothing in her career as a DA. Now you're going to say, well, she's obviously very smart because she got voted. She's the first black woman to get. Okay. So she did. There's reasons why this happened. She has no experience. She really has not ran a trial. Let's listen. She is in no position in her experience of doing anything, even as a senator. If you've ever heard her grill anybody, she's just a horrible, nasty person. That does not mean anything. If you could be a normal, a nasty person to Kavanaugh during the hearings for him to go to the Supreme Court, just being a horribly nasty person does not make you successful. It does not make you effective as a questioner. What you're trying to do is just destroy somebody. That does not mean you're trying to pull out facts to make a point. It's two different things. Right, just like you think me telling you and saying that Democrats are dumb and you get offended, you have a response, right? I would not say that in a court of law. I would not say that on the floor of the Senate or in Congress. I would not use that as a means to make a point or to pull out information, right? Calling you dumb on a Facebook post is to get you to react. That's all I'm trying to do. And so that's all Kamala Harris was trying to do, was trying to get a reaction from her base. And she's trying to do something which is not very creative. It doesn't take much. It did take me much creativity to create a post that says you can't be dumb enough to vote Democrat. Right? It doesn't take a lot of creativity. My creativity was in the fact that I was trying to put up a post to get a reaction so they could use it as stuff, information. I can't think of the name. Whatever it is. Material. That's the word I was looking for. Material for my show. That was the kind of smart part. There was more to it than just calling you. I could care less if you think you're dumb. I could care less whether you get offended that I called you dumb, because if you're going to vote Democrat, you are in fact dumb. Right? That there is no getting around that. There is absolutely no getting around that. You're voting for Democrat because you hate somebody that you've been trained to hate. That's the other point. So my first point is you're going to vote for somebody who's completely cognitively impaired, and then you know that he's not going to make it through the entire 4 years. As a matter of fact, he's going to make it merely months. And then Kamala Harris, who's completely unprepared, she may be somewhat intelligent. She may have some intelligence, but she's not. She does not have the experience to run the United States of America and conduct foreign policy. She doesn't. She doesn't have the experience to maintain a group of people around her and even to listen to what they have to say. She doesn't. So so just on that point alone, let me share with you really quick. I'm going to share with you an interview, not an interview, on the street, person on the street. This is really good. So this woman who is a Republican, I'm going to give you that. She dresses up in Biden garb with a Biden hat and a Biden shirt, and I don't even know where she's at. She's in a Democratic area, and Democrat area, and so she's trying to find people that are going to vote for Biden and ask them questions. So let me just share this with you, those of you that are dumb enough to vote Democrat. Let me just share this with you, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go full screen, and then I'm gonna mute myself and then begin to play the video.
Just getting some sound bites. All right. We got some support for Joe Biden. What is your one of your favorite accomplishments of Joe Biden's career in politics?
I think, helping Obama pass, Obamacare, because I know he was in the room with
He's been in office for 47 years. What's your favorite accomplishment of his?
I don't know, honestly.
If he hasn't been connected to Obama, I probably wouldn't know very much about him. But yeah, I'll admit, I'm not as familiar with Biden. It's just because I haven't really needed to follow him as much because he hasn't been in the spotlight for the same reasons that Trump has. So.
Could you maybe name an accomplishment of Joe Biden's 47-year career in politics?
I know it was 47 years, so I know that he's been around. I haven't followed through very much, but I remember a few speeches that he has made.
Can you name an accomplishment of Joe Biden's 47-year career?
Probably not at this moment. No.
I mean, to be honest, I haven't really looked into it too much on his policies. I just prefer him over Trump. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna vote for Biden.
Can you name any Joe Biden accomplishments of his 47-year career?
Not that I can really think of. I just know some of his views on LGBTQ community and all of the other stuff that he supports, and he's very he's pro life, right? Or I don't think he's I don't know what I'm talking about, but anyways, but yeah.
I'm gonna just give you a couple facts, just to throw some facts out there. So Joe Biden was not pro LGBTQ community when he entered office. Neither was Barack Obama. Donald Trump is actually the first person to enter office as president who's been pro LGBT. He supports gay marriage. He's very pro on those things, and a lot of the gay community claim that he's the most pro LGBT president. So if that's important to you, I would look into that. I would factor that into your decision making. So yeah, I would just consider that if that's important to you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Look up who's doing what before you vote. Okay.
Of course.
All right.
Of
Awesome.
course, we will.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye. They're so cute. What's sort of the worst thing Trump's done? Your biggest issue with Trump over the last 4 years?
Well, where to start? Well, just with everything going on at the border, with how immigrants are being treated and being held at the facilities.
One thing I was just gonna let you know, because it really bothered me when I found this out. But the cages at the southern border were built by Obama in 2014. That was and that was when Joe Biden was vice president. So just so you know, you don't you want to look into that or just not bring that up. But
human rights violations, disrespect of norms and regulations, authoritarianism, demagoguery. I could list a lot of things, but I think just the basic disrespect of people and democracy and representative democracy at that, which is at stake.
Our very democracy is at risk if we reelect President Trump. He seems to want to rig the election any way he can. Nobody can really steal the election because it's so decentralized.
yeah, but you said you thought that Trump was going to try to steal the election. How do you think he's going to do that?
Well, by messing with the post office, by trying to invalidate mail-in ballots, which, there's no grounds for it, but that doesn't mean he won't try and do it. So
If you could send a message to President Trump, what would it be?
I know you're going to cheat. I know you're going to try to steal this election. A lot of chicanery going on, but I think that the American people are going to vote you out of office in such overwhelming numbers that you will disappear and be just a blemish on our history. And hopefully you are castigated and imprisoned for the rest of your natural born life for the things that you are doing and plan to do.
Biden's got it. No doubt about it. There's no way Trump will have 4 more years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Says the guy with a mask. All right. so this is really some of they can't come up with anything that Biden's done, right? And the only things they think that Trump has done are all a lie, right? And so that brings me to the other part, is that you have a people, and I just have a list of names so that way I don't forget people. Is that over the last 4 years, and it's probably been far longer than 4 years. that they've been given this narrative that how horrible a person Donald Trump is. But then when you see his accomplishments, the accomplishments that he has, and there are a large number of accomplishments, whether you Democrats that may still be watching, I had some comment up here, and I'm not sure if I said something in the very beginning or not, but it was Anna that said, gee, thanks so much. I feel so much better now. I'm not sure what SMH, I don't know all those little things. But somehow, I don't know what MSA, somebody write down, tell me what SMH is. I don't know what that means. Hopefully you're still watching. Hopefully you're still watching, because now maybe you do feel better, because we've been trying to tell you, much like everybody else, and maybe you can, if you are watching your Democrat, you can begin to think, remembering that he's been around again. Let me just go back to Biden just for 1 second. He's been around for 47 years. So he's been around for 47 years, and none of those people, even the older people that have been around most of those 47 years, cannot come up with one thing that he's done. How is it possible that you know so much about Donald Trump, which has been lies that you've been told on a daily basis? You've never been told something positive that Joe Biden has done. Like all the media, all that the Democrats have focused on is telling you lies about Donald Trump that they've never bothered once to bring up, because there's probably not anything. They never bothered once to talk about, well, let's just talk about how great Biden is. Let's talk about all these things that he's done. There's nothing. that was for effect. There's nothing, because they can't give you anything. None of those people, even the people that have been around, that were around for the 8 years that he was with, what's his name, Obama. That they were with that guy. That even with him, when he was with Obama, they can't even come up with when he was with Obama. I mean, the one guy at least said, well, he helped Obama get Obamacare, which is the worst policy, the medical policy that on the planet, right? That I would not say that that's an accomplishment. I would say I would distance myself. Like he tried to talk Obama out of Obamacare. Like that would have been a positive thing to say. But that's it. That's all. That's the only thing that I heard. Right? That was the only thing that we heard out of all the people, young and old, the people that have been around for most of those 47 years, cannot come up with one thing. The only thing they focused on is telling you that Donald Trump was a Russian spy, that he's trying to destroy democracy, that he's put children in cages on the border, that he's trying to destroy immigration, that he hates immigrants. They're telling you all this stuff, which of course is not true. None of those things he's ever said. That he's never denounced white supremacy. He has denounced white supremacy on several occasions. There's at least 10 videos showing him saying, like, how many times, like almost like flat. It's like, how many times do I need to say that? Like they'll ask him again tomorrow, right? And he'll go, I just told you yesterday. Like how often do I need to tell you? Like when they say that he killed 210,000 people with a COVID-19, what are you talking about? He didn't invent the COVID-19. And they said 2.5 million people would die of COVID-19. And I'm going to say only, but I'm not saying that to diminish that 10,000 people died or 200,000 people died. I'm just saying that only 210,000 died compared to what they had planned on dying was 2.5 million. And most of those people, again, just so you know, are elderly that had pre-existing conditions that made them more susceptible to die. And then now there's a report coming out from not Donald Trump, or from scientific agencies that say 30% of that number of 210,000, 30% of those died of something else. They only just had COVID-19. The COVID-19 had nothing to do with their death. So that you got to really look at all the information. And this is why when I attach the word dumb, it's that you're just taking information that you're getting from a certain type of person, or that you are hearing from one person to the next, and not actually doing the research. You're voting for somebody that cognitively is not prepared to do anything, run a McDonald's, much less a lemonade stand, and then his supporting person that's going to come into power when he becomes so cognitively declined that she's going to end up running, has no experience and cannot do it. She's as dumb as a rock, right? And so you have that. That's what you're going to vote for. And then your feelings that what you're voting against is all based on a lie. He was never a Russian spy. He was never colluding with the Russians. It was actually Hillary colluding with the Russians to create a scenario that was going to create a false narrative that Donald Trump was colluding. It was actually Hillary Clinton personally colluding with the Russians. The whole thing that they were accusing Donald Trump of. Remember, the scenario is, and I've read you this, and you, again, if you've not listened to me, I'm sorry, but I'm really sorry that that whatever they're accusing you of is what they're doing, and that is their playbook. That is obviously their playbook. The border crap, it's Obama was putting the children in the cages, not Donald Trump. Those were Obama's cages, and they've continued to lie. Then they'll continue all the other lies. There's more lies coming out every day. I had a really good question here, and this really isn't the place to talk about this, but I'm not sure that I have an answer for it. Here it's a really big one. I've always wondered what America would be like today if Gore had won in 2000. Would he have ever seen or heard? Would we have ever seen or heard from Obama? Is Trump ever president, or is he still citizen Trump today? Imagine the Clintons still have incredible influence over the party today, and I imagine 2020 Gore's legacy would be very different from Bush. What do you imagine America like in 2020 if you had Gore and there was no Bush? Now, my first thought, and again, this is based on just you're asking a question, and I'm not prepared to answer a question, but Gore is just as much a part of this Clinton. Oligarchy, this George Soros, Hillary Clinton, Gore, all these people are all part of that same thing, that swamp that's being cleared out, being exposed by President Trump being in power. And I think this is it would have been very bad. I didn't vote for George Bush. I don't know if you watched long enough to know that I didn't vote for him I did vote for him the first time, because I thought that he would do a good job, but I was wrong. And so I didn't vote for him the second time. I voted for not Democrat and not Republican, but for the other guy. I forget who that was. But I did not vote for him the second time. So I think that's a really good question, but I don't think it would be, I think we would be in worse trouble than we are today. I think, and I still think it would have birthed, somebody like Donald Trump that would need to come in and say, okay, listen, we are not going to go socialist. We are not going to go for a Green New Deal. We are not going to go for open borders. We're not going to go for sanctuary cities. We're not going to go for reducing the punishment for pedophiles and child molesters. We're not going to go for defunding, dismantling law enforcement. We're not going to go for that. At some point, somebody was going to come in and take a stand. It just so happens that the planets lined up and we have Donald Trump. Regardless of what you think, and regardless of what you've been told and the lies you've been told, and what you are planning to do is to continue this narrative that the Democrats want, and that is to the destruction of our Constitution, the destruction of the United States of America, and the destruction of law and order within the United States. That is essentially what they are trying to do. It will destroy the United States of America. The other thing is that I have so many people that I know, and this is the truth. As I said, that wasn't a Trumpism, right? Where he says, I know tons of people. I have friends too. I have friends that are from other countries, like Argentina. I have a neighbor who just stopped me yesterday because he watches some of my Facebook lives and sees some of my posts. He's a pastor, and he came to me and goes, oh my gosh, what you wrote the other day or what you said the other day. I met with a friend of mine, a customer of mine who's from Cuba. And I walked into the door, and I can't remember the entire story. I may be telling it wrong, but she was like looking at him, and he's like going, "What do you want to say?" Because he was in a company uniform, and he can't obviously have an opinion, political opinion. And she's from Cuba, and she says they're trying to do to Cuba what Fidel Castro did to Cuba, or they're trying to do to the United States what Fidel Castro did to Cuba. And he looked and he goes, and he just like shook his head and said, "You're right." And she goes, I've seen this. I was there. I know. My family fled Cuba because of what is happening today in the United States. My friend in Argentina, Aldo, who's from Argentina, and I keep thinking I'm going to interview him and have him tell his story. But we met at a park the other day, and he goes, I left Argentina because I was trying to get away from this crap that the Democrats are trying to do. That this is exactly everything that they're doing and want to do to this country is being done in Argentina. And I've shared this with you before, where you can be in prison and you are going to get more money from the government than the elderly who has not been in prison gets on a daily basis or a weekly basis. The government pays the citizens in Argentina. They pay, if you're a criminal, they give you more money than they give senior citizens who have never committed a crime. you get more money as a prisoner. I'm just repeating this so you understand this. If you've been committed of a crime and you're in prison, you get more money than a senior citizen gets outside of a prison to live on a daily basis. If you are a business owner and somebody who claims to be gay applies for that, you have to give them the job. You have to not give the person who's more qualified if they're not gay. You must give the gay person, if you're caught not giving the gay person the job, you're violating the law in Argentina. You have to give the job, that the opening that you have. If a gay person applies, you have to give them the job in Argentina. And I could go on. He went on with a whole bunch of stuff, which is exactly what we are heading to here in the United States. If we vote, if not we, I'm not voting Democrat, and a large number of people here. If you're voting Democrat, we are trying to help you. We're trying to wake you up. I don't know what else to do. If I say, hey, smart person, you're voting Democrat, you know, you could be smarter if you vote Republican. That's not going to get your attention. That's not going to cause a dialogue. That's not going to cause you to see my response. That's not going to cause you to see other people responding and saying, I don't know, people are crazy. And you might finally one day just wake up and go, you know what, I'm going to look into what they're talking about. Because up to this point, I have not looked into the CIA reports. I have not read the unredacted versions of the FBI reports. I have not looked at the text messages between Peter Strzok and his girlfriend. What's her name? I have it written down here. Lisa Page. I have not looked at those text messages, and I've not looked at the dates, and I've not looked at how everything is lining up. That Obama and Biden knew that Hillary Clinton wanted to start this lie about Donald Trump being a Russian spy. And that actually Obama and Biden knew about it and supported it and gave access to the FBI and the CIA and the DOJ and helped them cause an investigation to be created out of a lie. Like at some point, you're going to stop ignoring. If some people call you dumb enough, like if somebody was calling me dumb for an idea that I had, I may be offended the first 5 or 6 times that somebody calls me dumb or points out how stupid I am. And then this is the kind of person I am, though. This is who I am. You may not be that kind of person, but I'm this kind of person that go, you know what? Enough people have told me my zipper's down. I'm going to look down because, you know, like as a kid, like in high school, they say your zipper's down. You look down. I gotcha. Or you got stuff on your shirt and you do that. Right. And people do that enough. And then finally, like the fourth person goes, hey, you really do have something on your shirt. No, really your zipper's down. At some point, you finally go, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere and actually look at it. I do have something on my shirt. My zipper is down. So maybe, and what I'm hoping is that by doing these posts and doing these videos, that every so often a person who's considering voting for a cognitively impaired person for president with a vice president who is as dumb as a rock, that at some point you will finally go, you know what, maybe I should look into this and watch a couple of their speeches and go, oh, he is cognitively impaired. He is there. Oh, yeah. That would be bad if he was president of the United States. Well, I hate Trump. I hate the way he tweets. I hate that he cheated on his first wife or second wife or third wife, or I don't know how many wives he's had. I don't even care. I don't care how many wives he's had. How do you not care? I don't care. I care what he's doing now. That's what I care. I don't care. I don't care what he said to the other Bush. I don't care. I care what he's doing now. Okay, let's look. Let me just look what he's done now. And then as you're scrolling and scrolling and scrolling at all the accomplishments that have been done in less than 4 years, all of the accomplishments that have been done, and I want you to look at any of those and look at them and say, I really don't like that one. I can maybe look at 2 that I really don't. I don't like criminal reform. I like people in jail. I like criminals going to jail and staying in jail. That's me. I don't like you releasing people. If they committed a crime and they got 20 years, they stay in jail for 20 years. That's just me. So any of those reforms, I'm really not a fan of. But hey, I can live with that because there's hundreds of other accomplishments that you can look at and go, man, giving money to historically Black universities and colleges in a way that they don't have to come back every year and beg for money, that they can just now, it just automatically now goes in and helps these traditionally or historically Black college university. That's really good because now Blacks who are being held down in these democratically run cities who have not been able to have school choice. Oh, wait, kids have school choice Trump. Forget about that. So at least up till now, they have not had school choice. They can now go to a college university and get an education that they might not normally get, because President Donald Trump has given these traditionally or historically black universities and colleges the money to allow them to have an education they might not be able to afford. That is pretty good. This racist Trump gave that to the black universities and colleges. Wow, what a racist! And that he wants to give black communities a school choice. Wow, that is really good too. And as you go down the list, I want you to begin to identify and look at it and go, wow, that's really not that bad. Wait, Middle East, peace in the Middle East. Huh. You know, I know that my grandparents have told me that there's never going to be peace in the Middle, that these people are going to fight forever and ever and just keep killing each other. But wait a minute, this president, he's actually started the ball rolling. Now it's not going to be perfect. They're going to have little skirmishes here and there. But this president actually has begun the process of getting peace in the Middle East. Huh. That's actually pretty good. That guy who's a racist, who's a horrible person, a nasty, who's trying to destroy democracy, is bringing peace to the Middle East. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Huh? That's really interesting. Wait a minute. These jobs that Obama said he would need a magic wand to bring back, right? The industries that he would need a magic wand. Wait, those are actually coming back? Huh? This racist, horrible, nasty person is brought back. These jobs that Obama said would never come back. Huh? That's very interesting. You mean, and I could go on, right? The trade deals, the WHO. We paid more money to the WHO, and they screwed us over during the pandemic. That he got us out of that mess. That he's put pressure on Iran. He's made Iran. Again, I'm going to talk about Iran in a way that you understand. The people of Iran, the citizens of Iran, are actually pretty decent people. It's the mullahs and the people running Iran who are horrible. He has put so much pressure on them that there's going to be an uprising. And it's because of Donald Trump. Does an uprising sound good? No, but it has to happen in Iran. They got to get those mullahs out. The money that Iran used to have wasn't going to the people of Iran. It was going to fund terrorists that were killing American soldiers and European soldiers and British soldiers and Australian soldiers. The money that Iran had, the billions and billions of dollars and the millions of dollars that Obama gave Iran, was used to kill American soldiers. The fact that Donald Trump has put so much pressure financially on Iran to cause them to go into financial despair is a benefit. It sounds bad, but it is the best thing that has ever happened to the Middle East. And that racist, that womanizer, that 3 or 4 time divorced man that you hate is the one who did that. So you can hate him. You can hate what he's done in his past, but what he's done as president is incredible. In spite of being attacked by the media, in spite of the lies that the Clinton campaign created, in spite of the FBI spying on him, in spite of the DOJ being a part of that group, in spite of the CIA helping with the spying on the Donald Trump campaign and creating a narrative that he's a horrible person, in spite of the media spreading lies and continuing the lies over and over again, in spite of all that, he accomplished, if you go look, an incredible list of things for somebody that you believe is racist, that is going to refuse to leave the White House, that they're going to have to arrest him, is just laughable, completely laughable. That the Democrats who are the ones creating the voter chaos, the Democrats are the ones creating the voter chaos, and you're pinning it on Trump. He's going, I'm trying to just go and vote. The simplest thing is to go and just simply vote. That's all he's saying. It's the Democrats who are creating this. Let's mail out 1,000 ballots. It's the Democrats creating chaos. You're listening to a lie. He did not go personally with a pickup truck, and pick up all these mailboxes and take them to the White House garage and hide them. He did not do that. That was being done again during the Obama administration. And it's been one of those things because people don't necessarily mail as much as they used to. That is a fact. And that you're trying to pin this on this president is just one of the craziest things I've ever heard. Whew. I get all facts. Thanks. I like the way you wrote facts there. Man, literally just spitting facts. Right off the top of my head. Thank you for that. I appreciate that so much. Most of the crime reform was for weed and low-level stuff. On the other hand, Cuomo let out murders. Yeah, I mean, you got it in Los Angeles. They let 8,000 people in Los Angeles, 8,000 convicted criminals out of prison because they might get sick of COVID. I don't care if they get sick of COVID. I don't care. I'm a heartless, horrible person. Yes, that's right. I'm sorry. What did Mo say? Ma, I'm sorry. No more healthcare mandates. Yeah, all this healthcare. Listen, you guys gotta get your shit together. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I meant to say that. I just didn't mean to warn you that I was going to say it. You those of you that think that are going to vote Democrat, you got to get your act together and your shit together. You got to do your research. You got to actually read some stuff and look into this stuff. It is maddening. I do, and I'm sorry in a way, kind of, that I have to call you dumb. I don't know any other way to get your attention. That is the least thing that I've called you, is dumb. Again, as a Republican, I've had my life threatened. I've had friends run over with a car. I've been called a Nazi. I've been called a horrible parent more than one occasion. And you know how much I love my kids. For you to, I mean, the worst thing you can say, you can call me Nazi, call me an asshole, a motherfucker. You call me all that stuff that you've called me. I've been called all that stuff, by the way, on a regular basis, both in writing and face-to-face. All right. But the worst thing you call me is a horrible parent, because I'm teaching my children how to be self-sustaining, that I'm teaching my children to work hard. I'm teaching my children that they have responsibilities. I'm teaching my children to love God with all their heart and all their mind and all their soul, right? I love the United States of America. I want them to give to other people. I want them to give a hand up. I want them to, when they do make millions of dollars, I want them to give millions of dollars to social organizations that actually spend it on the people that it's meant to help. Not like the Democrats, who raise billions of dollars and do not give it to the people that they thought that the people that were giving it thought it was going to go to. The NAACP is the worst of all of the organizations. They give none of their money to the Black communities that need the money. De Blasio and his wife got millions of dollars for social projects in New York, and none of it. They can't find where any of that money went to help any of the low-income areas of New York. Millions of dollars. They don't know where it went. Read, pick up a book, pick up an article, pick up something that actually will explain to you what you're thinking is wrong with the Republican Party is actually wrong with the Democratic Party. Millions of dollars. You got to look at Baltimore. They have more money than any other school district in the United States. I think that statistic is still true. If not, it is one of the highest. They have more money going into the schools of Baltimore, and yet 90-something% are illiterate and cannot do math. So money, where's the money going? Where is it going? Somehow, Nancy Pelosi lives in a mansion with a gated community, while the community around her has human crap in the streets and urine in the streets. Yet she lives in a mansion and has done nothing but been in political service. A gated community. Same with Gavin Newsom, multimillionaire, lives in a gated community, and he's destroying the city of California. We have rolling blackouts. I said this last night. I know I'm repeating myself, but we have rolling blackouts. We have crap in the streets. We have 8,000 criminals, maybe 10,000 criminals being released early who are convicted criminals, rapists, murderers, car thieves, armed robbers being released into our communities. Our crime rate, our high crime rate, our murders and homicides are rising. Our shootings are rising. Our gang wars are rising here in the state of California. Yet Nancy Pelosi and her nephew Gavin Newsom live in multi-million-dollar mansions and gated communities and could care less about the voters and the people that live in the state of California. They reduce the crime of pedophilia and sexual assault on children here in the state of California. Just blanket this just reduce the law and reduce the punishment, which is the truth. I've been told that I'm lying I'm not lying when I say that. That is the truth. And again, we could go on. So calling you dumb is the least I can do. It is actually doing you a favor. And for you to say that I'm immature, sure, I'm immature. I am. I tell stupid, immature jokes, right? I still point to my children's chest, like I said before, and say, you got something on your shirt. When they look down, I hit them in the face. I still do that, right? I say, pull my finger. All right. So yes, I'm immature. But me calling you dumb is really, I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to shake you up and say, listen, read a book. I know you say you're an attorney or you're a doctor or you're whatever. I could care less. You're a politician, the worst, right? But you obviously are then wanting to act dumb. Again, either you are dumb or you're wanting to act dumb. Those are the only two things. Because I've laid out just some of the I've barely touched the surface of what it is that you are doing to destroy the United States of America and our Constitution and our history and our schools and our children's future and everything that has to do with our beautiful state of California, our once beautiful state of California, of New York is destroyed. That state and city has been destroyed with de Blasio, with the Democrats, with Cuomo. It has been destroyed. People that I know that live there said, I'm getting this. It's not the same. It's horrible. They cannot live there anymore. And they're moving. The moving trucks are more expensive to rent to move out of California and New York than it is to move in. Because why? Because there's such a demand and because they can get it. People will pay a lot of money to get the F out of California. They're willing to pay a lot of money to get out of this state. So you voting Democrat is dumb. D-U-M-B, dumb. I almost said D-O-M-B. Dumb. Dumb, dumb. And I'm doing it because I love you and I'm trying to help you and I love the United States of America. Come to North Carolina. I'm trying to fight for California, gosh darn it. If it falls, then I will leave. I will leave. I know they're going to tax me. Priscilla. Thanks, Priscilla. I have two women fighting over me. Both of them are married, I think. And so there you go. That's all I have to say. I can't tell you in any more. I'm not willing to say you're a dumb mother effer, right? I just said you're dumb. You're dumb. You're being dumb. That is not really that bad, considering what has been done to me. I mean, I can go on. I've only touched the surface of what happens on a daily basis. My daughter, I mean, how bad is this, right? So my oldest daughter, who's 27, I think. She said, Dad, I hate it when you wear the Trump shirt and the hat. And not because she hates Trump. She's actually a closet supporter of Trump. But she says, you're going to get hurt, right? How bad is that? Me calling you dumb is not what? Who am I? Who am I calling? I'm just trying to wake you up. But on this end, my daughter's in fear for my safety if I go out that says anything Donald Trump on my body. Do you see that there's no comparison? And you on your return saying, oh, well, you hurt my feelings, or I'm an attorney and you called me dumb. I don't care. I'm trying to wake you up. At least you can go outside wearing a Biden shirt and not worry that somebody's going to throw a brick at you or through your window or stop you at an intersection and put a pipe through your window and drag you up and beat you, right? But that's what's happening to Trump supporters. Do you not see that there's a distinct difference between me saying, hey, dummy, wake up. You're voting for a guy who's cognitively impaired with a vice president who's as dumb as a pile of bricks. Right. That is true. I'm just giving you that's a fact. Those are facts. Right. Maybe she's not as dumb as a pile of bricks. I mean, she has some intelligence or else she wouldn't be doing what she's doing. But as far as running a country and foreign policy, she does not have the smarts to do that. That is for sure. That I can guarantee that's a fact. All right. And so me calling you dumb is simply trying to wake you up. That's it. And say, listen, read something. Other than something from the New York Times or the Washington Post. Read something that has information, real facts. Listen to Dan Bongino. Listen to a whole number of people. Dinesh D'Souza, really good. They give you facts and information. You can follow up. Right? Nothing like when Brennan goes on CNN and says, I have, or even Adam Schiff, it's collusion in front, right? What did he say? I forgot what he used to say. In plain sight. It's criminal in plain sight. We have it. I have it in my office. I have documentation that shows that Donald Trump is a Russian spy. I have it in my office. He had nothing. He was lying to you. He would never be. You could have gone to him and say, "Well, show me that." You go, "Well, I can't show you because it's classified. It's classified." No, he had nothing. He had nothing. At least Dinesh D'Souza or Dan Bongino or gosh, I mean, there's a ton of people. Levine, maybe even Tucker, maybe even Hannity, who I'm sure you hate, right? But at least they will give you some. Here, this right here. This is in somebody's handwriting. These are the text messages. Here is the unclassified FBI report. Here is the unclassified. Read it. This is what it says right here. And look at the dates. The dates of the meeting in the Oval Office line up with when this other crap happened. And you begin to read and you begin to go, oh, true. Okay. Did you have any more? Yeah. And it becomes exciting because now you're getting facts. When you're listening to these other people, you ask for anything, anytime. Kind of like that lady that went out that I showed the video earlier, if you were watching, that she went, so tell me something. And I'm sorry this is going on so long. I know. I always think that this is going to be short. I thought this was going to be, I lied to myself. I thought this would be like a 15-minute Facebook Live. But I'm so sorry. Glenn Beck is another one. Thank you. Yes. I mean, there's so many people. So, like that lady that goes out and she interviews. This is what happens on my Facebook page all the time. I have a Democrat will come back with something. I say, okay, tell me when that happened. F you, you're an asshole. Oh, no, that didn't answer the question. And I'll come back and say, no, I didn't ask for an insult. What you're saying, show me where that is, or show me when Donald Trump said that, or show me when, show me a document, show me a screenshot. Show me something that supports your information. Almost always the reply is an insult. You're an asshole. You're a Nazi. You're a baby killer. You're a horrible parent that you're talking to your kids and telling them this kind of stuff. Well, then give me something so I can say, I want you to educate me. If what it is that you're saying is true about Donald Trump, if what you're saying is true about an investigation, then just simply if you must have the facts. You believe it so strongly that you're going to vote for and I know I keep repeating myself, but this is necessary. That what you believe is so horrible about something that he did, or that he's under investigation, or some crime that he committed. Show me that. Show me the video, or the transcript, or the victim testimony in a court of law where somebody said that thing while he's been president, not, that he said something on an interview that he did with that Bush kid, whatever his name is. Well, he's probably not a kid anymore, whatever his name is. I don't care. But about the crimes he's committed, show me that. And they never do. I've not seen that yet. Oh, but then you ask them, well, then tell me something Biden did. Let's talk about Biden. Let's talk about, tell me why you like him. There's never anybody, I've not yet, and I want somebody just once to tell me why they're voting for Biden and not against Donald Trump. Just once. Just lay it out here. I want you just to lay it out. Why? And not because he's a nice guy. He's not a nice guy. He's a horrible, horrible person. There's tons of videos of him saying horrible things, racist things about blacks. He spoke at the funeral of a KKK. How many K's did I say? KKK leader, a KKK leader. He spoke at his funeral. He was really close friends with the leader of the KKK. I forget what they called him, but it was some stupid name of this leader, whatever leader position. Somebody knows and they'll put it on here. But he spoke at that funeral. Tell me what you like about Biden. Tell me something. Somebody tell me something that he's done. He's not a nice guy. You can tell me he's a nice guy, but he's not a nice guy. He's a horrible man, a horrible person. He's been horrible his entire life. He's a plagiarist. Vice President Pence said it well. He's a well-known player. The reason this is his third attempt at running for president is because he got caught plagiarizing other people's speeches during his run for presidency at other times. Even running for the Senate, he plagiarized. Even talking about the death of his ex-wife when she died, or his wife. That said she was killed by a drunk driver. She wasn't killed by a drunk driver. The guy was not drunk. He lied about that. He's a liar. He's a known liar and a plagiarist. So you can't. That's not what nice guys do. He says he's a Catholic, but he's for late-term abortion. Those two things don't go together. I talked about yesterday. It's like those magnets that you can't push together. You can't push late-term or abortion or any abortion to Catholic. You can't. You can't push those together. They do not come together. He can't say in his speech, I'm a devout Catholic, but go ahead and kill the kid at 8 months before, at 9 months, late term abortion. Kill the kid. I vote for kill the kid. I'm a devout, God bless. No, you can't take the thing in your mouth. You can't. And say, and with it, kill the kid. You can't. Sorry, I went on too far with that one, but it is true. Who did I have? I had a whole list of Biden. That's all right. Biden. He's Biden. Kamala Harris, Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Nadler. Nadler stands in front of you, Democratic voter. Stands in front of you and says everything that's happening in Portland, the destructions of the building, the burning of the buildings, the looting. He stands there in front of you in your face and says, it's a myth. It's not happening. Nadler, a Democrat, is telling you, you Democrat follower, that none of that is happening, that is a myth. CNN and MSDNC tell you every night, there's no looting. Obama, what's her name? Michael Obama. Michael Obama tells you that it's like there's like hardly any of that going on. There's no rioting. There's no looters. It's peaceful. It's mostly peaceful. But she's a lying ass. He, she, whatever it is. She's a lying ass. Michael Obama. Who else? Schumer. He's an idiot. He's just an old idiot. He needs to go away and just retire and get out of our life. He cannot get on and say anything. There's nothing positive, right? Nothing but peace in the Middle East. No, that's horrible. It's going to cause war and people are going to die. Wait, what? We have vaccines that are coming out. We've been able to get these vaccines to come out in less than 4 years that we've got vaccines, and they're going to be great. I'm not taking a vaccine. They're going to kill you because Donald Trump has a laboratory where he mixes it together, and that's what he's given to you. Donald Trump is the mixer of the vaccine, and he's going to kill you with the vaccine. Kamala Harris, I'm not taking Donald Trump's vaccine because he's the one who put it together. No, they're standing in front of you saying that Donald Trump is the guy who created the vaccine, that somehow he's got a laboratory. While he's golfing, while he's doing nothing, he's also in his laboratory in the basement of the White House creating a vaccine that somehow now you're not going to take because he created the vaccine. They're trying to they're lying to you. All they've done since Donald Trump is lie to you, and you're dumb enough to believe it. That's all they can continue to say. I could go on, but I'm not. I need to stop. I need to stop myself. I've got some oceanfront property in Arizona. Do you? Sponsor of the systemic racist crime bill. Oh yeah. Bird, that's his name. KKK Bird. Yeah. But yeah, what was his name? Exalted something. That was a really odd, whatever his title was, it was really odd. You know what's great about Anaheim is Anaheim had a very strong KKK like community. That was they were in the city council. They were mayor. The only reason I bring it because I was a police officer in Anaheim. But Anaheim has a strong KKK history. By the way, I'm not proud of it. I'm just telling you that's what we had there. Anaheim is German for by the river, and that's Anaheim is by the river. I think is actually the translation. Don't come here fight with me. Oh, I love when women fight over me, even though they're married. Hillary, I just saw Hillary post. Hillary in Haiti. Oh yeah. I mean, there's so much stuff. I mean, I could go on about child. There's just so much other stuff. I just want to stick with the main stuff. Dang, missed it. What did you miss? What did you miss? Missed what? Priscilla. Thank you, Priscilla. I love it. All right, my friends. You know what? I could go on my list of names here and some of the stupid things that people did. Comey. I didn't get to talk about Comey and Ray, and then whoever the dimwit is in charge of the FBI. He was all part of it too. Why these people are in power, and I know. And I'm just going to say this one thing. Here's also, and just the last thing. Here is the thing that when you're saying how horrible Donald Trump, Democrats, not all of us, how horrible Donald Trump is, he's in this situation where he had, organizations, the DOJ, I don't know how many thousands of people that are in the DOJ and the FBI and the CIA and the DEA and the ATF. You got all that. And then you got the military. You got the Marines, the Army, the Navy. You got Space Force. you got the Coast Guard, you got the National Guard, and you got all these people, right? And you got people coming in and out of the White House, all that kind of stuff. And as a president, you know, he's trying to fire people and hire people. He's got people spying on him. Who do I trust? Who can I speak out? You know, people that you're thinking you could talk in front of, you can't talk in front of. And he says, you know, if Iran, and I'm just going to say it. So I guess today I was listening to Rush Limbaugh, and somehow I missed it. I don't know how I missed it, but I heard the recording where he said, if Iran fucks with us, that is the best. I want people to roll up and like, no, that is the best. That was awesome. He needs to say more of that. But can you imagine him in there saying, I don't know who to fucking trust? Right? I can see him in the White House. Like, who do I look at? I got people that are spying on me. I'm trying to give interviews with people that hate my guts because that's just what I do. I don't care. I'm not afraid to have an interview with somebody that hates me. But you have all these people like in leadership positions. He's trying to find, who do I fire? I fire him. But if I fire this guy, then what's going to happen is the left media, the Democrat media, is going to have a shit fit about me firing this guy. But he's only putting people around him that he can manipulate. So he's trying to massage all of this stuff. And this is really what I like about President is that he's not simply just firing everybody. And I wish he would. So I would want to fire I want to fire everybody. But then who do you hire? Because everybody's getting money from Soros or Clinton or a whole number of people, right? People are getting paid money to go in there to spy and to bring out some lie or some information. If they can't find anything, then they make it up. And you go, you know, it looked like he was doing something, so let's just say that he was doing this thing. It looked like he was doing it, but he really wasn't doing it. But let's just say. So they're trying to put people in there, and they're getting paid, right? They're getting book deals. They're getting paid by the media. They're getting, shows on CNN. They're getting, speaking engagements and all that kind of stuff. So you have all these people coming in, and he's got to figure it out. Like, who is it that I can trust? Who do I keep on? And sometimes I think that there is sometimes I think he likes having a few people that he knows that are of the enemy. Because he can manipulate them too. I think there's a little bit of that. I'm not 100% sure, but from time to time, I think that he likes certain things that he can do that causes an uproar. And again, I don't want to think that he's an evil genius, just that he's pretty smart about some of the stuff. But it's got to be hard. We're talking about thousands of people, right, of leadership positions and all these different things, and he's got to decide who to fire, who to keep. And then, he's gone from Comey to Ray to this other dimwit, whoever's in there now. Is that Ray who's in there now? There's so many names. I'm getting them all mixed up now, but just having to decide who to fire, because when you fire somebody and they're a friend of the Democratic Party, it causes a whole can you see he doesn't want this guy looking over him because he's on our side and he's going to tell us all the bad things and he's firing him. How dare he fire somebody who's an evil bastard who's going to spy on Donald Trump and give us horrible information? How dare he fire him? And so there's this weirdness that, he's got to kind of massage this, and he fired a whole bunch of people, but has to figure out who to keep on, even if they are going to cause him grief, because in some ways he can keep them around and use them in some ways. So I hope that didn't take a weird turn, but it's got to be tough. Yeah, Ray should be sent to Gitmo. No kidding. I mean, there's he's surrounded by just evil people. Real estate businesses, cutthroat. Yeah, he's and again, I know that I said the last thing was the last thing, but this is the other last thing, that he's been able to accomplish so much with so much being thrown at him for years, daily. He's got crap being thrown at him daily, and he just like bam. He's like Wonder Woman with the wristband. Ching 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 ching. There's probably a better analogy I could have given. Maybe Captain America with his shield. Ching ching. That's probably better. Not Wonder Woman. But he's like ching 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 ching. I don't care if Iran fucks with us. We're gonna bomb the shit out of them. Yeah, right. And he's like ching ching ching, like blocking all this crap, and yet he's still getting stuff done, and still calls Dan Bongino before he goes in. The president of the United States calls Dan Bongino yesterday before he goes in his operation, just to say, hey, I'm thinking of you and hoping that everything goes well. That, man, it just brings tear to my eye. He's for a guy that's getting so much shit, he's still a great guy, regardless of what you think. And I know people hate his guts to an extent that I've never seen. but he is a great guy. Yeah, Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers. I remember that happening. He just says, okay, fine. You can go ahead and picket, and you can, refuse to go to work. But it's okay. You're fired. I like it. It is so good. That's what you got to do. All right, my friends. I love you for keeping on here. Thank you for all of you that were on Facebook and Twitter and Twitch. All of you that responded. Even I think I had a response from YouTube. I got thousands of people. I'm up to something like 5,000 people on the different platforms. If you add them all up, to almost 2,500 people. Wow, that I almost had an aneurysm and almost killed myself just now. But somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,500 people just on my Facebook personal page, and then a few thousand on all the other pages, and then YouTube, and then Twitter and Twitch. So I appreciate you guys very much watching and sharing and liking, but I wish you would do more. Could you subscribe? Could you share? Make sure and go to my podcast. You go to the Andy Falco Show on iHeartRadio, and you can go to, let me put up a banner here. I think I have one on here. Yeah, go to the Andy Falco podcast for iHeartRadio, the Andy Falco podcast.com, andyfalcopodcast.com, the andyfalcopodcast.com. Go there for the iHeartRadio and subscribe. That would be fantastic, because I'm going to get kicked off Facebook at some point. At some point, they're going to kick me off. The andyfalcoshow.com for the YouTube channel, if you want to subscribe on the YouTube channel. And yes, I do have what are the other places? I have, shoot, what are they called? Not Pandora. What's it called? Somebody help me out. Hold on, I gotta look at my phone. Finally, my phone just updated. It's alive again. What's it called? The other place. The other starts with a P. Why is it not coming up? Wow. Well, I got Rumble. I am on Rumble, but Rumble is really weird to work with right now. So I am on Rumble, and I'm on the other one too that Dan Bongino owns. What's that called? Somebody put that in there really quick. What's it called? Parler. I just remembered it. So I'm on Parler too. I am on Parler, but it's those things take a while for me to kind of get them in my brain to actually go there and post stuff. And I'm not quite active in there, but I do have an account. So you can find me on Parler. Thank you. And it's Parler. Make sure an ER. I think Parlor is a porn site. So, but it's Parler. Let me just make sure. Now I want to make sure. P-A-R. For some reason, oh, there it is. Yeah, Parler. Parler. Don't go to the OR. That's something else. And then I'm on Rumble too. Rumble is the alternative to YouTube. But both those, I'm just not very active. But go there at some point. I will kick it all in, and I will do that. I just uploaded about 4 shows on my podcast, the Andy Falco Show. So it's almost all cut up. This one will be up tomorrow. And so you can share that out and have people say, hey, listen to this guy. He's stupid, but he's actually pretty funny from time to time. And he leaves crap on the whiteboard that has to do with the dog podcast, not with what I'm talking about today. I know. This is a very professional show. I will get more professional. I've only been doing this for 10 years now. All right, my friends, I love you very much. I appreciate you. God bless you. And those of you that I'm calling dumb, it's only because I love you. I'm calling you dumb because I love you, not because I think you're really dumb. Well, okay, I take that back. All right. I want to end on this because I just love doing it. And then I will see you at the next one.